Time for some Midnight's Edge After Dark. Welcome back to the show. I am Tom Connors. With me, as always, is my producer, my right-hand man, my sponsor, my babysitter, and my
Your
favorite
spice
Mexican.
dealer.
my guy that sits on my couch and sleeps there, and my favorite Mexican, probably.
Yeah, but I'm going to shower starting tomorrow. I promise.
That's all right.
And
We got
of course,
Mexican Iron Man.
Your tax guy, your
And
attorney.
well, not yet, but I'm sure I could try and get him to do my taxes.
Power of attorney.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Ward. Wait a minute. That's.
I don't know if he's a lawyer. I don't know if he can be my
No.
power
I
don't know if that's plausible.
No. Taxes, yes, though. Welcome, everybody, in the chat stream.
The Mexican Iron Man is here with us.
Woo!
Also with us is my other partner in crime, a man who gets me in more trouble than I'd like to admit, Mr. Jesse Miller of the Crow's Nest.
Yeah, and I'm none of that shit.
Well, you're definitely one of my best friends, that's for sure. So that at least you have in common. I would never let you do my taxes, though, probably. But then again, you could probably do them better than me.
I go to H&R Block.
Exactly. Like,
which is probably not a good idea. Don't make fun of me.
Which is what you would do is you'd be like, I'll do your taxes for you. Give me $70 and you'll take them to H&R Block. There you go.
It's Trudeau.
It's Trudeau. It is very Trudeau. And Script might be along shortly. Depends. He said he might be late or he may not be able to make it. Otherwise, the link is out to a few other people. We'll see if they show up or not. Other than that, we do have a bit of a hard out tonight. I do like that, hard out. Oh. We have a hard out tonight.
I like a hard in.
Yeah, how about a hard in? Because I got to run over to 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser's channel after this show. We're going to talk some Beverly Hills Cop on Toxic Tuesday. So join us over there at 9 p.m. Central. So we got plenty of time, though. So no rush, though. Yeah, Steven, aka Deleted Scenes, how you doing, buddy? Sends in $2 and thank you for being a member as always. Says, hail Tom, Mike, Jesse, fellow wrenches, and chat. And speaking of wrenches, I seen Lindsay is here, and I seen Six was here before, but I think she left because we were late. Hope she didn't leave. Sorry about that. We're waiting to see who is going to show up. We got Chef here. We got Tim Hayes here. We got Too Much. We got Kenneth LaRock in the chat. How you doing? We got your Muslim uncle. We got Warwolf. How you been? Ain't seen you in a little bit. We're going to have to get you on here to talk about your book here soon. I know I wanted to get you and a couple other people on. We got Dragon Master. How you doing? We've got Carries. We got Tina Bohan. How you doing? Or actually, it's Bojan, isn't it? I can't remember how you told me how to say it now, and I forgot. Gosh darn it. We got SXHBK, however you're supposed to say your name there, but hello. We got Dalbin. We got Toro Trevino. And we have so many more joining us, including Sander Hammerslag, Mecha J, and yes, I am here, Hamdinger. I am here. And we also have Eagle Fang for Life as well as here. Hello. We got Night Raven and Andrew 46 and 2 is here. Welcome, Sam Rogers, Punk Waddle, and the rest of the gang. We're glad to have you here and joining us on this Tuesday evening. Thank you so much. We got Stephanie Janisek as well. Thank you for being here. We're going to talk a little bit of Quentin Tarantino news, a little Netflix news. That's going to spin into some Squid Game, and we'll see what else we come up with in the meantime. But what should we start off with? What's on everybody's mind? How was everybody's weekend? Let's start there. Jesse, how was your weekend?
Weekend was quite lovely. Today kind of sucked. I'm looking for a new job because I can't stand mine.
I hear you. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about that earlier. How about you, Mike? How was your weekend?
Well, I survived tax season, and now I got to take care of the clients that I ignored during tax season. So, but no, I had did the show with you with Doomcock. Before that, I had a little date action Sunday afternoon. Went quite well. RAR, RAHR, and and here we are.
Yeah, Bambino told me all about it.
Bambino, what? Bambino, did you take pictures? I told you not to use video. Did he send you video clips?
No. He just likes to tell all your little dirty secrets.
Oh no! Well,
if anybody knows you better, it's Bambino. So.
Well, I gotta hook him up next time so he's busy while the action is happening.
Get him a date too, and that's right. It's like Trojan, Tina Bojan. Thank you. All right. I just want to make sure I'm saying it right when I can remember, even though my brain can only retain so much. It seems like in a day. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking too, Night Raven, but actually it's Bojan, like Trojan, Bojan. And let's go, Brandon. That's right, Sander. Welcome, Goddess Wim. How you doing? We got Preston Bruno here as well. We got people filing in still as we say hello, hello, hello. My weekend was full of work, as you saw the one video we dropped today. We got another video coming. I saw Dune. We watched Halloween the last week here. It's just been, I feel like I haven't slept. I was on.
It's funny because like I see like I'm on a show with you, and then then I go to bed, and then I wake up and said, "Oh, okay, Mead Radio happened." Wait, hold on. There was also a 6.5 hour live stream about Halloween. Wait, what?
And I was on with Flashcast and all this other stuff. And yeah, so like I literally feel like I've had like 5 hours of sleep in the last 3 days, but I'm good. I'm good. We got Warwolf sending in $5. Thank you so much. Says I was at New York Comic Con week before last and had to take a week to rest up from that. Looking to come on for the book chat. Yes, we're gonna do that real soon. Because there was a couple people who want to promote their books, so we're gonna definitely get back to doing that kind of stuff. It's been something I haven't done in a while, and I like to do. But yeah,
Might as well. I like asking questions about people's projects. I used to do that
Yeah.
a lot back in the day.
Well, we're going to try and find some time to do that real soon, so you'll get your chance. And then Nikki D says, the latest Ghostbusters trailer looks fun. How do you think it'll do at the box office against Woke Eternals? Let's start there, actually. Did you watch the new trailer? I know Jesse did, but did you, Mike?
Yep.
See the new? Okay, so we all have seen it. I enjoyed it. The international trailer is what we're talking about now, of course.
Yep.
How do I think it's going to do against the Eternals? I think it's going to crush the Eternals.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
I think it's going to just.
The only thing I didn't like about the new trailer, the international one, was the score was cocked. Didn't have any energy. Didn't have any backbeat.
It didn't feel like the original score, like the other trailer had like bits of Elmer Bernstein's original score in it, or at least homages to. I get what you're saying. This felt like a generic, like if I were to look up like royalty-free Ghostbusters like music,
sure,
this is what I'd come up with. So I agree with you there.
For those of you who don't know, we're busting each other's balls all day. We went back and forth one day about what's better, the Ghostbusters original theme song or the real Ghostbusters song. I like the real Ghostbusters song, but I feel that Tom's view that the original is better is extremely valid because it has the better breakdown. They use the same theme for breakdown, but in the real Ghostbusters one, they don't have the same lyrical content, but the breakdown that don don that's hidden, and it should be center stage.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't mind when the actual theme came in, but I hated the like build up to it. It was kind of weird, but no, like that was probably my biggest gripe. Other than that, I wish they would give us a little bit more of the original cast because I still feel like they're selling themselves a little short because there's still probably enough people out there that are not quite up to speed as to what's going on with this. But hell, we can just hope the media keeps it going the way they're going with bashing the film for no other good reason than, it exists, which is hilarious because they're doing exactly what they accused us of doing on the 2016 movie.
You know what they could really do to make a lot of money? They should just show one scene of Ray in the uniform slapping the fucking wand into his hand, looking like he's ready for business. That would sell the whole thing.
Anything.
Yeah, maybe.
Anything. When there was
it would make me happy.
And we do know a little bit more about the PKE meter now. They have a new PKE meter in this one.
Did you hear about this? Notice.
I didn't even notice that part.
It's not in the trailer. I read about this.
Oh, well then how would I? Okay. How does
no. Yeah, this just came out around the same time though, and it actually is. They show the PKE meter in the poster, the new poster that got released. Well, if you'll notice, there's a red trigger on the back of it. What that red trigger does is it actually stuns ghosts. So
that's smart.
Modified it. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? They walk around with that thing a lot, and it'd be good to have a taser before you whip out your wand.
Yeah, it stuns them. So that's going to be cool to see how that works. I liked the energy of this trailer. The music aside, I did like the energy. I liked the flow, the feeling, giving us a little bit more of an insight into who the new characters are. We got a little bit more of them, and I'm not going to jump on it's going to turn into Stranger Things train just yet. I do see that the kids are going to have a very prominent role in this film, though. but I think they're saving the best for the movie because I've heard enough about it, and I've stopped people from who've seen it. I've been like, nope, don't tell me anything more. I don't want to know anymore. And they keep saying it's a love letter to the fans, and all the bad reviews that keep coming out make me want to see it more. So, Mike, what about you? How did you
Well, I
feel
agree
watching the trailer?
completely. I look, so I loved it. If I didn't like it before, I loved it even more. And I'm not even as hardcore Ghostbusters-y of a fandom as a lot of people are. But I think their approach is brilliant. I mean, here's what I see with the two trailers. I think when this is why I say this is why I say it's done really smart. I'm not sure what the cancellation is, but by going, how do I say this? They're simultaneously going right back to the last movie, sorta, but there's enough of a time lapse that results in the cancellation of that horse shit that we got back in 2016, right?
Right.
And what it does then is that by basically here's what I see: we've changing the environment, we're changing where this is taking place. Number one, number two, we're changing the characters completely. I mean, we have an entire new cast. We are getting some fan service, or what you call it. I mean, I don't know why they call it fan service because I mean, customer satisfaction. I mean, we are moviegoers, we are customers, right? I don't know why it says like fan service. Fan service makes it. Whenever I hear these idiots in these Hollywood publications use the term fan service, I feel like they are pandering to me by even using that term. Just to call it fan service. I mean, I call it what the fans, what the fans like or what we deserve. But anyway, let me go back to my points. My point is, number one, I love that we're changing the geography. I love that we've got new characters to get vested into. I like the fact that there's some things that are familiar. But here's the thing: it's so different. It makes me really interested, and I want to jump into this. And I'll tell you this much: I think that what I'm looking forward to is that if the critics hate this thing, then that means that I'm probably going to love it. And more importantly, is that when you think of something like the Internals and the way that sucker's being mismarketed, which reminds me very Shang-Chi stuff, I think it's going to get crushed. It's going to get crushed just like the last Duel got crushed by Halloween this weekend.
Well, I actually answered this question. I can't remember which podcast. It might have been earlier or one on last night or night before, something like that. But no, I think Eternals is going to have a bigger opening weekend than Shang-Chi did, but it's going to fall off fast because there's very little to hang on to, and it's got stiff competition. And I'll be curious to see how it even plays up against Doom.
But see, here's the thing with the Eternals. The Eternals is you've got an assembly of different characters no one knows anything about. Unless you're a hardcore comic fan, you have no idea what this.
Oh, I beg to differ. How so? I have the Eternals #1. I haven't read it. It looked boring as fuck.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Is that okay? Unless you're a hardcore fan of the creator of this comic, you have no idea who this is. Listen, I collected a ton of DC comics, some Marvel, and I never got into this thing.
Honestly, you're right, because the only reason I bought it was because it was Jack Kirby.
Right. Jack so Kirby. If you're Jack Kirby,
so what you do with that? You flip through the art and you're like, "That's really cool," and then you toss it in the pile.
Well, and that's the thing about a Jack Kirby. That's the thing about a Jack Kirby book is that what made him so revolutionary is that so amazing is the fact that you actually. He was actually able to make you care about the storyline from a graphic artistry standpoint versus just what's the dialogue and what's the
That's
plot.
What made the first app of Black Panther so damn good in Fantastic Four, actually.
Exactly.
Well,
it was visual
because I'm learning now while we're doing this video we got coming out that, I mean, I kind of knew this already, but it's like, oh yeah, that's probably why Eternals is kind of a bland comic book, is it's actually Kirby copying himself, because it was when he left and went to DC, he created the New Gods. When he came back to Marvel, the Eternals are basically just the New Gods redo,
right?
And they're not nearly as good. So,
and I think we got two other problems. This movie's going to have two other problems.
Yeah.
The other two problems that's going to have is that, in addition to everything that Jesse just said, which I agree 100% with Jesse, is that the Marvel universe is in shambles in general, and one, and number two is the storyline, the connectivity is not there. So this thing is coming out of left field, out of nowhere. it makes no sense. Even if you're all into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which they basically killed it off and made people completely uninterested now. So I just don't see this thing's up against a bunch of this thing's up against Mount Everest to be successful. And when you look at how much money they spent, I think they got a big flop on their hands.
And look at where they spent the money. They got Angelina Jolie. You want to see how great of an actress she is? Go watch Tomb Raider 2.
Yeah, well, I've never.
I just don't see the comparison there. I mean, look at that.
Salma Hayek is in it. That's going to be the crowning achievement in this
like
movie.
that's the Eternals in the comic.
Mm-hmm.
This is the movie version. This is worse than Masters of the Universe 1987.
Yeah.
Like as far as like being that far from.
You know what this is? This is X-Men.
Yeah, and look at that.
Where they put them
You're
all
right.
in black costumes.
And it's funny because the X-Men, when they decided to do this movie, they didn't own the X-Men yet. Or they didn't have them back. I should say they didn't have the rights back yet.
Yep.
But you know what's funny is like, you know, we look at this Kirby art, right? Like it's gorgeous. Like even if this comic book is boring, I mean, this art is just fucking gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And it just pops.
Oh,
you know. And they've done this already. We have this in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right?
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
The only reason to have made this movie,
boom, right there.
Yeah.
Does that not look Kirby-esque to you? It sure does to me. Like the movie or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I thought when I saw this
movie.
Look at
those backgrounds. Look at those backgrounds.
Holy shit. Like,
who is that if not Kirby?
That's what I said when I saw this movie. That's why I fell in love with this movie. I'm like, oh my God, it's a Kirby comic come to fucking life. How did they do this? They just managed to make it look real, plus have the color and the contrast.
I wouldn't mind my basement looking like that.
Right? Warwolf says, ironically, the new gods only exist because he wanted to kill off Thor, but Marvel said no, since he was selling well at the time, and I liked Mo 287. Yeah, I like Mo 287 as well for a sword and sorcery movie. It's just a shitty Masters of the Universe movie. but you know, Frank Langella kicked ass at Skeletor, that's for sure. I mean, the movie itself,
weird when he got a big gold costume, and I'm sitting there being a kid waiting for him to look like the cartoon, and I hate that. I can't.
Yeah, no Orko and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they had that little troll guy. Like he was like knockoff melted Gimli mixed with something from Ernest Scared Stupid. And then the whole thing was, oh, we need to play this jaunty tune on this keyboard.
So
the Casio will save us.
Yeah, Jesse, I have something awful. I gotta say this because we're talking about Eternals. When I saw the trailer, and this is okay, I know this is so wrong, but I'm Mexican, so I can say this, Jesse. So when I was watching the trailer, the first one that dropped, I was like, how is she on this planet for 5,000 years and still hasn't gotten rid of her accent yet?
I don't know.
Selma, I think she does it on purpose.
I don't care. She's hot.
I think it's like Arnold. Because, you know, he doesn't really have to talk with that thick of an accent. He's kind of lost the accent over the years. But when he just hams it up more.
He lost his career the second he said, fuck your freedom, too.
Mecha J says Eternals is looking to be the Inhumans 2.0. Seems to be that way.
Cold-blooded, but true.
It is true, yeah.
Yo, and Inhumans had that dude from Ramses from Game of Thrones. He was a great actor. Couldn't save that.
Yeah, I don't think the Eternals is going to do nearly as well as Ghostbusters. I think Eternals is going to be the least successful Marvel movie of the year as far as Disney Marvel goes. Venom and Spider-Man are going to dwarf all the Marvel movies in the end, I think. Because I think Venom has almost made more than Black Widow already, hasn't it? Or just getting close. I'd have to look at the actual numbers again. It's been a while, but no, yeah, I do love Billy Barty, though. That's true. Even though we didn't get a real Orko. Hey, we got Greg in the chat. How you doing, buddy? We have Warwolf in the chat, who's been a member for 4 months, and he's a minimum effort puppy. Thank you for that. And the comment was for Jesse, Mike, just so you know, in the chat. I was telling him how to help maybe fix his mic a little bit. All right, let's get into the main topics then. And thank you for that, Nikki D and Warwolf and all the guys for the super chats there. We appreciate those. I don't want to...
Is this any better? Because I know it's mad echoey in this house.
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
Yeah, if not, move the mic a little closer. That might help too. I don't care if it's on camera. Nobody does.
But then I'll be tempted to go, Of course you are.
Yeah, but
Nothing
you
wrong
sound
with
better.
that. You sound so much better
You
now.
sound so much better though when you have it close to you and pointed at you.
Yeah. Well, we could
That's what
actually,
she
you know
said.
what? Fuck it. Let's jump into this story. This is one I wasn't even sure if we're going to do because this is affecting our video, but
All right, let's go for melted Ron Howard.
Do it.
I think everybody looks melted lately. I don't know why.
Now that you say that, Ron Howard looks like melted Ron Howard, though.
Ron Howard looks like he's Captain America next to this
Oh
guy.
yeah, gotta swim. Did you hear they cast Adam Warlock with the kid from We Are the Millers? I'm disappointed. That guy is not the specimen of perfection. That's right. I remember I saw
The
that.
kid that got bit on the balls by the tarantula?
I think so. Yeah, the kid who's playing the son.
He's more likely to play Howdy Doody.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. And the sad part is they already wasted probably one of the more perfect guys to play Adam Warlock, which was Quicksilver. What's his name?
Kick-ass.
Yeah. Because
Aaron
after I saw him
something.
as Quicksilver, I'm like, holy shit, did he beef the fuck up?
I want
And,
my
like,
Kick-ass 3, by the way.
Could you picture him with like blonde hair playing Adam Warlock? I could.
Yeah.
But
He
yeah,
got
no,
jacked.
I don't know. Unless this kid can fucking really work out and beef up like a motherfucker.
How's he going to change that face? He looks like Howdy Doody was a person.
Yeah, he does.
Hi guys, I'm here. I'm here to fight the
You know
battle.
what's sad is he almost played Pennywise.
That's kind of scary.
He would have probably almost made a better Pennywise than the one we got in a weird way. But anyhow, yeah, there is spoilers for Venom in here. I seen somebody already said they hadn't seen Venom 2, so I'm going to try to avoid that part. But the reason I brought this up is because he claims that the Eternals is a love letter to the late Jack Kirby. I'm not seeing it here, Kevin.
No,
I
I
ain't
would call
seen
it.
it.
I would call it a lack of no. What it is, it's a love letter to yourself because you're out of creativity and you like making money off of other people's creations and you're a greedy fuck. Oops, sorry.
You know what? He didn't even use their creations. He just used the name. He just stole the name and slapped the fucking generic superhero suit on it out of the draw. Why does every superhero costume look like the same fucking costume these days? From X-Men 1 up until Mira, the bed shitter in Aquaface. They all dress the same. It's like they all got the same fucking tailor. Aren't these people supposed to make their own costumes? That's why they kind of look like shit sometimes.
Well, Jesse, you made the comment on I don't know which stream, but I think it was that you said that there's so many cosplayers that do a better job of
They
damn near-
do.
Yeah, you made that. I don't know what stream you were on, but I
Last
saw you say
one.
that.
It was the last one
Oh,
because
yeah.
we were talking about the DC trailer.
Well, so we'll avoid the Venom business right now because I don't want to ruin that for anybody anyway. And that's not even the real reason I brought it up. It was more so that he's claiming that it's a love letter to the Eternals. And I'm just like,
Bullshit.
I'd have more respect for you if you just come out and said the truth and be like, look, we thought we were going to try and do something with these guys that was going to be like the X-Men, and then we got the X-Men. So
But then we
guess
realized that that's not even what this is about.
yeah, it's pointless. Let's face it, this should be a Disney Plus exclusive. Nobody gives a shit.
But
The only
Chloe
thing that's
Zhao
important-
did it. But don't you understand, Tom? That Chloe
Oh.
Zhao, Tom, you don't understand why this movie is so important and why it's so groundbreaking and why
Well-
it's amazing. It's amazeballs.
But you know, Chloe Zhao is the reason you're not getting your release in China, right, Kevin?
You know what? I got pissed off at work this morning when I was listening. We were all talking about movies, and these kids I work with that are in their 20s, they refer to reboots as the old one. And I'm like, do you even know that was a TV show? No. Have you ever seen this movie? No. But then they'll like talk about some garbage fucking movie like it's great. And I'm just like, society is fucking fallen. There's no helping any of these people. It's like you have such bad taste that you wouldn't know what art was if it slapped its cock on your face.
No.
Speaking of
Sorry
cocks,
to
yeah,
curse like that, but I'm fucking serious. It's really
that was a pretty
annoying.
big cock that Chloe had there. Did you see that shit?
Like Big Mike.
Like, look at that. That's a
Different Big
cock.
Mike.
That's a
Tom,
big
you don't
cock.
understand. This is important because Chloe Zhao is an amazing filmmaker and she's getting an opportunity to bring these different stories to the big screen, Tom. You need to understand this is stunning and brave.
I hate to
film
break
work.
it to you.
Did
you know
you
what
just
Chloe
escape
Zhao
Vietnam?
Is? You know what Chloe Zhao is? She
What?
is the dramatic fucking version of Spinal Tap.
She looks like a fucking sourpuss.
That's what she does with her movies.
She makes Yoko Ono look happy.
No, that's what her movies are. They're basically fake documentaries. She sets people up situations, and that's what that movie was with what's her face from Fargo.
I feel like she's going to break that rooster's neck, and you don't even eat roosters.
Yeah, she's probably a vegetarian.
Weirdo.
She loves the cock though. She's stroking it. So
Hey, how could she not?
I have very little.
Like you've said before, you've made your decision.
You've made your decision.
I don't know why you're not embracing diversity and inclusion and representation and whatever effing other word they use these days.
I don't know.
Equity.
Well, are we going to talk about this Cowboy Bebop thing? Because I'm not.
No,
I still haven't watched it.
Oh, okay, then definitely.
It's never been my bag. It's a lot of people's.
I mean, I've seen the some of the little preview thing here, but
listen, I just saw Cowboy Bebop for the first time. All four DVDs. I got through them. It's an outstanding. There is no way that this new thing has shit and Shiola or hell. God, why do I curse so much these days? That
you're hanging out with me.
Okay, so there's no reason. Whatever they're putting out doesn't have a Shiola's like gram of integrity of relation to what. I mean, I'm not buying.
You're starting to talk like me. You need to.
Do you know what Shinola is?
No, I just know that it goes with shit. There's shit and
it's shoe polish. You don't know shit from shoe polish.
I'm wearing sneakers right
now.
So
that is to say, you're dumb enough to rub shit on shoes.
Now, Mary, this is an interesting point. Like going back to Chloe, says I'm just going to ask, but was she hired to get some China cred? I think so. I understand that she is an accomplished director, but she doesn't seem to like a superhero director. Doesn't seem like a superhero director, in my opinion. She's not. And the reason they hired her was to get some cred, but they didn't realize that she was on the outs with her own government, I think. And they've decided they're not going to release the movie there solely based on the fact that she is the director because of her feelings against the government. So they just basically fucked themselves in that respect. And then they double fucked themselves because Shang-Chi was a movie they obviously made for that market, and that market did not want it. They found it insulting.
It's like everything, the only thing that these hacks, these creativeless hacks have is they try to take something, package it up, and because these elitists, it also stems from their elitist mentality, because they look at everyone else at peons, they're like, here, take this. Oh, wait, we have a Chinese person. Come here, please. Yes, we need you. Okay, go over there and tell that movie, please. Yes, you're Chinese. Go ahead. Do it.
Well, so did you actually watch this trailer then, Mike?
I did.
Okay, because you're the only person here I think that's actually watched Cowboy Bebop. I don't think Jesse has either yet.
Oh,
I have the Blu-ray. I haven't Blu-rays. I just haven't watched them yet.
You're gonna you got to get through about 4 to 6 episodes, and then you're gonna be on hard. That's what I hear. Yeah, you got to get through that first disc. Get through that first. Let me tell you this much: it took me probably about 2 or 3 weeks to get through the first disc. Then once I got through the first disc, I flew through the disc 2, 3, and 4.
Well, full disclosure, I'm not an anime fan. I've said
this many times
before. I'm not, but this is one of the few that I've seen that actually kind of looked interesting. So it was one that when you guys peer pressured me into pulling the trigger, I did. Well, namely Culture Casino.
Well, I'm not into it either, but it has space stuff, and I'm a sci-fi guy, so that's
right. Well, and I like the idea of mixing. That's why I love Star Wars. Is that mix between it's the East meets West meets space, right? And that's kind of what this feels like. It's East meets West meets space. I can get into that, but you can disavow me all you want, and I'm so sorry. I just never was a big anime fan. Part of it's the style. Part of it is just it just never was something I got into. I'm not a big fan of unless it's some really rich animation. Like a lot of the times, I grew my
bro. I hear you.
My introduction to it was shit like Speed Racer and stuff, right? So that was kind of where. Just growing up, it was just like, yeah, that's a thing,
I'm not an anime fan yet, and I was on Gogo 13's channel, and then I've gotten a bunch of titles, and I'm working through it. I'm not. It's just not my. I'm still gonna. I'm a Batman guy. I'm a DC, animated. I mean, what do you want me to say? I hear you. I get it.
Look, dude, I grew up on the real Ghostbusters and then the Ninja Turtles, and both those had plenty of animation errors. Granted, but anime, you got V-chins. The best thing in anime, backgrounds, beautiful backgrounds, but the character models are fucking lazy looking to me. I can't.
Sometimes.
I watched Akira and I very much enjoyed it, but that was because of the gruesome brutality of the story
I do have
and
Akira.
of the animation. But most anime is just the same old look. It all looks the same.
I mean, I've got Akira, I've got Ghost in the Shell.
You haven't watched them yet?
Oh, I've seen Akira and Ghost of the Shell years and fucking years. Here's the thing, and I brought this post up for a reason. Maybe Human says Tom just hasn't met the right waifu yet. Well, here's the thing. Part of the reason I don't like anime is one of my ex-girlfriends because she was so into it, and I got
those people are fucking annoying.
I had it's funny you say that, Tom, because my former roommate that I had, this is before I moved to it's kids, before the girlfriend, then I had a roommate. He was all into this thing, and he was just an insufferable prick. And God, it took me forever to get him to move out. But and he was all into anime, like he was showing all the time. I think that alone made me hate anime. And
that was it. It wasn't so much because some of the stuff I actually enjoyed, but it was like at nausea, right? Like because the only other shit she would watch that wasn't anime was The Matrix, which is inspired by fucking anime,
right?
Sure.
And Labyrinth,
right?
Right. Chicks love Bowie, even when he's abducting 12-year-old girls to marry.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. He's Bowie.
You're not totally wrong.
Did you see the cod piece, ladies?
She's 16, but still, there's definitely some sexual confusion going on in that movie. But anyway, Nikki D, thank you so much for for another $5 super chat. Says if Simu is now persona non grata in China, will the CCP allow any MCU movies to pass their censors with him in it? That is a question that a lot of people have brought up. And that's why a lot of people don't think he's going to make a whole lot of appearances in other Avenger films, or if he does,
he's not going to
conveniently be in scenes that can be edited out easily.
Hey, you know what though, Chef Carolyn, she just sent me the best part of the new Eternals movie.
Oh yeah, Selma. Yeah, but we don't even get to see that. That's the thing. Did you see what they make her look like in this movie though?
Like a school marm that
Yeah.
doesn't care.
Yeah.
Hey, when you look that, they can't handle it. They got to put them in commie clothes.
Listen, it doesn't take much but a South Carolina breeze to turn on Mexican Iron Man, and I thought her outfit.
I couldn't even tell you looking at that picture there.
Does she get more stacked every year?
Yes.
Is that an upgrad?
That's an upgrad.
Oh yeah, that is an upgrad indeed.
Yeah, I don't care if they're fake. They're gorgeous.
I don't give a shit.
But no, like here's my point is I could not tell you which one of these characters she is playing. I know this is the Angelina Jolie one just because of all the gold shit. I'm assuming maybe this is the one that she's playing.
She does have a large rack and dark hair.
That's just out of assumption. Like that's what I mean. I have no idea who half these. I know the one character is Icarus, and like I know some of the characters, but like you're right. Like this has been one of the ones that's like I even knew more about the Guardians of the Galaxy going into that than I knew about the Eternals. Like I'm learning more editing this video than I ever knew about them because they're just like completely.
The Eternals are essentially supposed to be godlike almost.
They are.
Yeah.
They're basically gods. They are.
But they don't do anything.
Wait a minute. Are you serious, Ryan?
She's the purple guy with horns.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because there is no purple guy in the show. There's that green dude that like Angelina Jolie's like fucking up against, but like whatever. Warwolf says the Matrix is not inspired by anime. The Matrix is inspired by Chinese Wuxia martial arts films. See, I don't know this shit. And yeah, it was kind of inspired by anime as well, though. There's a lot of the visual style was definitely, and I think they even say that in the making.
It's all crouching.
Definitely
wires,
even got the Animatrix for Pete's sake. There's that aspect.
I love the Animatrix.
I fully admit I don't know enough about that crap, so I couldn't tell you. I don't even know how to say it.
It's gonna fail miserably, and it's gonna fail miserably.
I didn't even plan on talking about the Eternals today. That's the funny thing.
No one did.
But it's because the premiere was last night, and I know Robert Meyer on his way to see it right now.
Oh, that poor bastard! Why is he doing that?
Wait, it's out now?
Well, he's probably got a sneak ticket to a preview.
Because I thought it was coming out next week.
It does, November 5th.
Is that Hollywood talk for someone gave him one?
No, he just probably knows somebody who has tickets. Get into a preview. That's the thing. Robert Meyer Burnett knows like everybody in Hollywood, but he's never been the guy to take advantage of it. Like I've even asked, like, how could you not? Like, you know all these fucking people. And he's just like, I don't know. He's like, I just do what I do, you know. It's just like, all right, respect, you know. Like,
Well, he's a fan and a kid at heart. He does.
yeah, that's true. He'd rather just go watch some of this stuff, I think.
Yeah, he's a
Sometimes.
fan and a kid at heart.
Adam, I have Firefly on DVD, and I'm not gonna lie, I never opened it because I haven't been able to sit with it, and I forgot I had it. But I did hear the rumor on the internet before that it was inspired by Cowboy Bebop, because Firefly had bought the entire series because everyone seems to love that show. Plus, it has who's the hot chick from V? She's Deadpool's girlfriend.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of her name.
Hot legs, pretty
Yeah.
face,
God damn it.
sexy as fuck. Marina
Yes.
Baccarin. That's it.
That's it.
Baccarin will never get a backhand.
She can back around into me.
Back right into me. That's a country song.
You can back right into me. You think you're walking out that door. You're taking my heart with you. I ain't gonna keep going. I'll write an actual song if I keep going. Country songs are so easy to write.
Walking out that door, but watching you walk away, I just wanted some more. So Baccarin into me.
Back right in.
Should I go
I'm
get my?
back right into you.
Should I go get my ukulele?
And the table starts to shake while we screw.
Yeah. I
My
don't
dad
care
said
if you
part
ate that
about
guy in V.
making up is when we really start to, you know what?
My dad. I remember when I was a kid, there was a song he used to listen to and he used to sing it all the time. He's got get the bit. Get your buns in the kitchen and the biscuits in the oven. It's time for some loving.
Super Bubble Pro says free screenings. That explains why R&B loves every movie. I don't know about that. He just has friends who gets tickets and stuff. Like that's how he saw Dune and stuff. Somebody like said, "Hey, you want to go see Dune?" He's like, "Do I?"
Indeed.
I love R&B. One of these, when I get to California, I spend a month out there later in December.
He's generally pretty, as far as I can tell, he's very honest. I've never,
but I'm gonna go on the show. He and I got 3 beefs. We got that's a KK, and then what was the other one? Oh, He-Man, and obviously Shang-Chi.
I mean, I definitely feel like he made a poor choice of words with Shang-Chi. Like, I really don't think he was pressured because I asked him, and I think he would have been honest with me. So, no, he would have told me something like
I
that.
mean, Shang-Chi was an amazing movie. It was a triumph for Rabbit Chicken International.
Right. Like, I can't, there's things about him I can never say, right? Like, because I can never break his confidence. But I know I trust him and his judgment. So
we also have a member chat.
We do. Thank you for that, Mike. Larry, and also Super Blubberpuss, who's been a member for 3 months. Thank you for that. And we also said to Werewolf as well earlier. But Larry actually sent in his message for, I believe it's the month. You got 1 month, I think it is. He's a maximum effort puppy. Thank you for that. Says there's also a 115-minute anime movie of Cowboy Bebop from 2001. Yes, I'm aware of this. And I believe you have to watch it before you watch the last 2 episodes.
You sounded like Andre there when you said yes.
Oh, did I? Well,
it's rubbing off on you.
Because he's been editing for 3 days.
Well, actually, I haven't even been editing an Andre video for once. But anyway, Hal, Tom, Mike, and Jesse, best discussions around. Well, thank you so much for that. And he says, rabbit chicken finger licking good.
Yum.
I'm telling you, it's snake meat, bro. How you think he's producing so much of it so fast?
Yeah. Well, this is the actual main topic for today because this got me, and I'm like, whoo, okay. Full disclosure up front, I know Jesse's not a fan of Kill Bill, although you do respect Tarantino as a director for the most part. It sounded like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not
just that one movie
seems
films. Like a mashup of Cokehead.
I can understand that. And Mike, I believe you are a fan of Kill Bill.
Oh yeah.
So this is something
multiple times.
Who anybody who's followed the films knows that this is not real new news, and I think a lot of people were making the jokes earlier, like Kill Bill 3 wasn't he killed in the last one? Well, that's because this third one wouldn't be called Kill Bill 3, probably. For those who know what the setup will be, because Tarantino has been talking about this since the last film was done, and that is it would be Kill B, and it would be about the daughter of Vivica A. Fox's character going after Uma Thurman's character now, so the roles would be reversed. And that's probably what he's talking about here. But let's get into this article and see what he has to say, because he talks about not only that, but he wants to make a comedy Western as well. So let's hear about this. QT says he has no idea what his next film will be, but it could be Kill Bill 3. Why not? The director said when pressed on this burning question on Tuesday at the Rome Film Festival, where he received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Italian horror maestro Dario Argento. Now, of course, this why not seems a bit benign, but he has been talking about it a little bit now that the character would be age appropriate. So I think it's something that's been on his mind. Tarantino's also got other projects on the horizon, though. They include the film criticism book and a possible TV series that I've talked about before, where that is going to be the Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be in Bounty Law episodes for Netflix. I think he has a deal for that. As Tarantino told talk host Fabio Fazio of Italian state broadcaster RAI on Sunday, before adding, "But first, I want to make a comedy." Comedy seems to be on Tarantino's mind during an onstage conversation with Rome Fest chief Antonio Manda. He described an unspecified project that sounded very funny. "It's not like my next movie. It's a piece of something else that I'm thinking about doing. And I'm not going to describe what it is," Tarantino said. "But it's part of this thing. There's supposed to be a spaghetti Western in it." So it sounds like a movie that other directors are working on too, probably like he did for Four Rooms. "I'm looking forward to shooting that thing because it's going to be really fun, because I want to shoot it in spaghetti Western style where everybody's speaking a different language," he went on before breaking into laughter. "The Mexican bandito is an Italian. The hero is an American. The bad sheriff is a German. The Mexican saloon girl is Israeli." I love how he said he's not going to tell us about it, and then he proceeds to tell us everything he's going to do. This is what I love about Tarantino.
I mean, he might as well say, in fact, the Mexican
Quentin's
character.
this is all cocaine fueled.
Well, Quentin's
Okay,
got
that's
Quentin.
not a spaghetti Western, man.
I
This
think-
be some overblown stupidity, just like Django
I
Unchained.
won't-
It's
I
not
won't-
going to be for a few dollars more. Mark my
Jesse, they're
fucking
gonna
words.
say that the Mexican character is gonna speak with a Southern accent and be from South Carolina. It's like, yo, sabes que
That's cool.
yo tengo que comer un rabbit chicken taco y empanada and
And give me
¿dónde
one of
está
them
mi-
mint juleps. Thank you, darling.
Look,
¿Dónde
I know you're
está
making
mi
fun of
pistola?
Tarantino, but I'll be honest with you guys. He's
Yeah,
one of the reasons
the
I'm
reason
the way
I
I
make
am.
fun of him
Like,
is
I do the
because
same shit.
do you remember Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? That had
No.
hours and hours and hours and hours of bonus footage. One of them was a party at Kevin Smith's house. And even Kevin Smith was like looking at the camera like, this fucking guy. Like, because he was so Quentin Tarantino was at his house, so coked out of his fucking mind.
You sure that wasn't Clerks 2?
No,
Might have
that's
been
in
James
the
Silent Bob, but
it-
he
it
was on the
might
Clerks
be.
2 one, I think, too, then, otherwise. Because that's the thing. Him and Robert and a couple other guys, they always get together after they do a movie and they critique each other's shit. So they're all like buddies that hang out.
Well, it explains a lot.
I don't know how much they've hung out lately.
Hey, me
but
and
that
Jesse
used to-
agree on damn
when they
near
were back, when they were Weinstein boys, is what they were.
Jesse,
I know that sounds wrong, but that's what they were. You had Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino, Kevin Smith, and I can't remember the other 2 or 3 guys there were that were like their little group of.
three
you know.
amigos.
No, there were more than 3 of them. So
Ted
they were like,
Bundy and John Wayne Gacy,
no, well,
they were kind of touchy.
Spider Unlimited says, speaking of Quentin, he had hinted at times to make a movie about the Vega brothers. Has there been a development, lingering rumors still? The last I'd heard about that, Spider Unlimited, if it still actually happens, he said it would probably be animated due to the fact that both actors are too old now to make a prequel. So yeah, that you have that, and then they're both dead, see, because it'd have to be a prequel. So you have that aspect. He has brought it up, though. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start doing some of these things in his novels. Like, he's really talked about doing more writing because he like really enjoyed doing the novel of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, and he's got all this other stuff he's working on. Like, I've heard him talking about some of the like really inside his own head kind of stuff. Like, it's really kind of weird stuff that he's talking, like with his books and writing he's going to be doing. So it's going to be interesting to see what he comes.
I'd also like to remind
Okay.
everyone that in an interview on, I believe it was Conan O'Brien, don't quote me on that one, but Quentin Tarantino was talking about the time he got to meet the Muppets, and the chick Muppet from Electric Mayhem, he started making out with it.
He's
Oh,
in Muppet Wizard of Oz.
wait, what?
He's the
It's
best part of
weird.
that movie.
Janice, that one, okay. The guy was using the puppet and he just grabs it and he started raping it. It was
I don't know.
weird.
Tarantino's a character. I love him. I don't
Yeah,
care.
Janice.
Watching Mead while drinking mead. Well, that's kind of meta there, Fred Sacco. And thank you for the $10.
And
That's some kind of
delicious.
paradox there, I'm sure. Kill Bill 3 will be just Rosie O'Donnell suffocating a Bill Shatner lookalike where for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Let's hope not.
And then
I
she
don't
fires
wanna
those
deal
little
with that.
squishy balls everywhere.
Lord knows I don't want to deal with that. Anyway, I'm going to get back into the story now and thank Larry for the $1.99 super sticker as well. Thank you for that, Larry. Let me see what that is really quick. That is a not showing up on my screen is what it is. Here we go. Refresh. Hold on. Whoa. And there it went. It is a thumbs up. Thank you for that. Okay. So he goes on to say, where everybody's speaking a different language and you, the actors, just know, okay, when we finish talking, when I can talk. Tarantino laughed again. During a wide-ranging talk about his 32-year career so far, during which he's shot 9 films, Tarantino said that the first film he remembers seeing is a British spy movie called Deadlier Than the Male, directed by Ralph Thomas, with Richard Johnson in a James Bond-like role. That's as far back as my movie memory goes. I was literally about 5, he recounted. I remember this one scene with Elke Summer and Sylvia Koshina. They kidnap this guy and they kind of hold this guy prisoner. I remember watching it at 5 and being a little blown away by the sexual politics of it. I didn't understand that at 5. Years passed and Tarantino kept remembering this film, but had no idea what the title was. When toward the end of the 1990s, when he started his personal film collection, he bought Deadlier Than Male without knowing what it was. And so I'm screening it after I bought it, and then all of a sudden, about midway through, that scene comes on, and I go, "Oh my God, this is the fucking movie. This is the first movie I ever fucking saw," he said. Asked by Manda about when and how he decided to become a director, Tarantino said it took him 8 years to break through and revealed that he fully realized his calling while taking acting classes. I realized that not only did I love movies more than the other kids in the class, he said, but I cared about them, whereas I think they only cared about themselves. And the reason why is that I loved movies too much to be an actor. I didn't want to just appear in them. I wanted the movie to be my movie, he said. Toward the end of the talk, Tarantino paid tribute to the late great composer Ennio Morricone and told the story of how the Oscar-winning soundtrack to Hateful Eight came about. Let me see here. This is going to go on for a little bit longer. Oh, not too much longer. Okay. After venerating Morricone for years, he used tracks that he had composed in other films. When Tarantino wrote Hateful Eight, he thought this one should have an original score, he said, and reached out to the maestro. But when they met in Rome, there had been some confusion. Hateful Eight had already been shot, whereas Morricone thought the cameras hadn't rolled yet, and he was booked up for another job. Tarantino said he was disappointed, but would find another solution. But then he asked Morricone about the little theme in his head that Morricone had previously mentioned. Morricone went to work and the next day told him he could give him 3 different arrangements of the theme that he had been thinking about, plus many unused tracks from the soundtrack he had written for John Carpenter's 1982 film, The Thing. I think so. There you go. I didn't even know that. So basically, Hateful Eight is the rest of the soundtrack of The Thing.
Huh.
I think I can give you 20 to 25 minutes of original music that you can maybe stretch to 40 depending on the arrangement, Tarantino recalled Morricone telling him. And it's a great score. Then you can use unused tracks to The Thing and you've got a complete original score, he said, and he was a true giant. So there you go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Kill Bill 3 if it happens. I know you're probably not so much Jesse, but yeah, that was
there's not a chance in hell I'll see this thing. The first one's, oh my God. I like what doesn't suck about these movies. First, I'm Buck and I like to fuck. Okay, you ripped that off of Eaten Alive from that was Freddy Krueger's line. Okay, because he was Buck who liked to fuck. Okay, so that's ripped off. Then what you move on to? She's in a coma, getting almost banged. Then she pulls the Steven Seagal to get out
You
of there.
almost sound like you've
Bullshit.
never seen a Tarantino movie before.
They,
Though.
I've seen all Tarantino's movies.
I know. That's why I
practically.
don't understand why you're saying
Because
like
this oh god,
why do you
it's-
say these things?
it's so hard to watch.
Jesse, you're
It's
hurting.
just hard to watch.
Jesse,
You're
you
hurting
and I
my
agree
feelings.
on damn near everything almost all the time. We just come from different perspectives. I think that's one of the reasons why I love you. But I love these movies. I love these movies.
I get what
How?
you're saying, but I just don't see
All the
it,
things
man.
that you probably hate about it are probably the reasons.
That's
why
what I
love them.
mean. I get it because I mean I've
It
run
doesn't
into
seem
people like that.
incredibly pieced together to you. Like it's like a oh god, I don't even know how to say it. It's like a flamboyant version of
Okay, you've mentioned.
mishmash.
Okay, I can tell what. Here's your issue with Tarantino. I can tell right away. See, Tarantino has two types of movies, and he has brought this up before. You don't like his movies within the movies, is what I can tell because you brought up
No.
Django already. You probably don't like Inglorious Bastards all that much. And you,
Django and Inglorious Bastards, I both enjoy for the topical popcorn flicks they are, but they're not good movies. They're pretty fucking stupid both.
No.
okay, here's the
They're
thing.
both stupid movies. The Bear Jew,
Those
them
two
walking in,
Tom,
and
help
him
me,
not just having them all executed the
okay.
second that he finds out they're not really
Listen,
them.
You're hurting me, Jesse.
Okay,
You're hurting
Jesse,
me.
here's the point I'm going to make to you now, and this is what most people don't realize. This, and I understand this is why there's a divide in Tarantino's movies. Those two movies plus Kill Bill 1 and 2 are movies within his universe. Okay, all of his movies take place in the same universe. We've already discussed this, right? Well, the thing is, like those three movies, and I count Kill Bill as one movie. They are all movies within the universe that he is in. That plus Once Upon a Time in Hollywood now are all movies that the characters in his universe have seen or know of. They're movies that are made inside the Quentin Tarantino universe, which is already batshit crazy as it is.
Yeah, it's called the LEU, Lowered Expectations Universe.
If you want to put it that way, that's your prerogative. But I'm just saying, like, that's why those films are so much different than his other films, because those movies are supposed to be movies within his universe. From Dusk Till Dawn actually counts in that too.
Another movie that's just fucking stupid.
You don't like From Dusk Till Dawn?
No, I don't. Because it's a stupid fucking movie. Him and the first off, wait. First off, you got George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino as brothers. One of them's a crazy rapist. The other one's just a criminal. First off, Clooney, you're a bitch. Can't stand you. Can't stand you in anything. Okay? Look, here's the George Clooney. I'll wait for Mark to want to choke a bitch.
People can hear you. It's just not
Yeah,
my
but they have
reaction.
to see this. Look, this is George Clooney in a nutshell. American Dad nailed this. Look down, look up, deliver your line. He sucks. Okay, he sucks. He's bad. He's not good. Okay, so the best part of that movie was obviously Cheech Marin with his whole apple pie pussy speech. But then they get into this place, and 3/4 through the movie, now there's vampires for some reason. Okay. And they're not, it's not like they're on a team.
Like
Team
Saggy says,
Vampire.
burn the whole stream and throw it away. Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna go hang out with Saggy backstage in the green room and stuff. I can't listen to this heresy. This is Jesse. I agree with you. You're my brother. I love you, and we come from two totally different
points.
Yeah, because you guys watch these movies and you're like, oh, I remember that. And I'm like, look at this pretentious fuck.
No,
That's the difference.
Jesse. No.
See, here's the thing: is you see,
Tom, you're gonna have to
Quentin Tarantino-
separate us because, like, we're gonna get into it.
No, I know because I'm trying here, but I can't because I'm like, you know how much Tarantino means to me.
Exactly. Like, you know
He
what?
did Reservoir
Jesse,
Dogs, and that will
Tom's
always
one of
be
your
awesome.
Jesse,
that's
Tom is
how
one
you
of your
should remember him.
Tom is one of your best friends, and if Tarantino doesn't exist, part of Tom doesn't exist. So you have to love Tarantino.
I'm not gonna be able to change Jesse's mind on this, right? Like it's just.
Well,
not
I'm gonna
happen.
change his mind right now. No, Jesse, I tell you, no.
Tell me what was good about Kill Bill.
Everything.
Like what?
Everything, the whole movie,
You have
the
to be a
music
little more
was
specific
great.
than that.
The action was great. The editing was
The action
great.
was bullshit.
No.
The action. You mean like when that girl was swinging around cutting off people's arms?
No.
Uma Thurman was doing a 1-inch punch through a 6-foot
You do-
thing.
again,
It's cinematic. It's cinematic license, for God's sake. You got to get
That movie is why David Carradine hung himself.
Oh my goodness gracious! Good God. Are you gonna go
that's
there
not-
with me,
We all
Jesse?
know he didn't hang himself. He was killed by a hooker and a gang member.
Thank you. That's what I
Probably.
said. Are
He
we gonna
can't
go
do
there?
that to
We're gonna
himself
go there.
physically.
No, you're talking about works of art. I own these movies. I've seen them. I've probably seen Kill Bill 1 and 2 at least 10 times each. At least.
He could have been watching Boondock Saints.
No, okay. You know what
Okay.
you get? You know what? Okay, where's that Go-Based Network? I need the
Are
no
you gonna
song
make
for
me
you.
eat rabbit chicken meat?
I'm gonna make. You know what? Just for you, Jesse. You're gonna get you're gonna have to go in the corner and you're gonna have to eat your rabbit chicken spoiled porridge like a bad little Jesse. Bad Jesse, bad.
No,
Bad
no,
Jesse,
it's all
bad.
right.
Some of the
Jesse's-
juice that time.
Jesse's allowed to have a bad opinion once in a while.
Are you
Mr.
telling me?
Wa-
Okay, Jesse. Okay, Jesse. Here. I found a common ground. All right, Jesse. What are your 3 favorite Tarantino movies? Top 3.
I'd have to say Reservoir Dogs is number 1.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction is number 2.
Okay.
That actually, that's kind of hard. And then I really don't have a third. I really don't like him that much.
And that's fair. I get it. He's an acquired taste.
Wait, you dropped off right. That's where you drop off in Tarantino. Tom,
Yeah,
that's
what
wanna fire
else has he
myself.
got?
I can't.
Well, he wrote True Romance, and
True Romance was a good movie. I didn't know that he wrote
Jackie
that.
Brown, and
That's
then
good.
there's
No, Jackie Brown is a callback piece of shit.
I love Jackie Brown. Then there's
It's a reboot of a blaxploitation film. Big whoop.
well, it's actually based on an Elmore Leonard novel, but then of course you got Hateful Eight, and you've got Once Upon
Which
a
is
Time
a
in
fantastic
Hollywood,
film.
and of course the other ones we already mentioned.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood looked interesting, but I haven't seen it.
I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I don't know if you'll like the ending because it's a movie within the movies, right? I'm with
DS Ford in the chat. DS Ford, yo, what up? And I mean, Hateful Eight. I love that movie.
Mr. Wonderful says Daryl Hannah as the new head of the assassination squad, the bitter blind leader, that trans kid in the crowd. I forgot she is still alive. Yeah, she is. Plucked her other eyeball out. I forgot about that she's still alive. I forgot. Like, yeah, she's still alive. Yeah. Duh. Tennille says, hey, Tom, with the recent news, could we perhaps be entertaining the start of the final even if we're not seeing much of it overtly yet? You could be right with the impending strike and all that stuff going on. And I know we talked a little bit about this the other day on the main channel, or yesterday, and then we talked about it today. I talked about it with Culture a little bit. I don't have much more to say about it other than I'm hearing more shit from the inside that they're not happy. They're going to strike. They're going to vote no, even though the media is running with this whole idea that the strike is not going to happen.
Well, we get propaganda. Propaganda has many forms, and a lot of these articles read to me like they're rah-rah pieces, not substantive.
Well, yeah, they're meant to like bend the narrative or the opinions, or like make everybody think, oh, well, they're clearly everybody's voting with it. So that's not the case, it sounds like. So
well, we'll know shortly what day's the vote.
I don't know. It's within the next few weeks. I know that. But I do want to say hello to some new faces in the chat that I did notice. Besides Saggy Melons, who we said hello to already, we have Lord Runner in the chat.
Wait, no,
well.
let me say hi to Saggy. Hello, Saggy.
There you go. D Bud Martin joined us as well. We got Snowdub in the chat. Hello. So we had some late comers come in here. Welcome to the show. You haven't missed too much yet, but yeah, we're going to be closing down here before 9 o'clock because we're going to be heading over. I see Matt as well. He says, I just made it. What did I miss? Not much. We were just talking about Tarantino getting an argument with with Jesse about it. But yeah, we're going to be heading over after this show to 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser's channel to talk some Beverly Hills Cop. I'll be there with him. And I think Matt is going to be there as well. And then Saggy Mellon sends in a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that. Says, buy yourself a shot. Forget the blasphemy. It's being said by the genius mind of Tarantino. No soup for you, Jesse.
I don't know how anybody could watch Kill Bill and think that's good.
I watched Kill Bill.
She wants me to hit you with the chancleta. You know what the chancleta is? That's like your grandmother's sandal, that old leathery sandal that's in the corner. There's not even two of them. There's only one of them in the closet. And Jesse, like, I'm gonna hurl it at you like it's a missile.
My grandma wore slippers.
That's pretty much what they are.
My shoe.
What? No graphics? Am I saying that right? What? No graphics? Like Skeletor? Like what? Like what? No graphics? Says enough multiverse crap. Give me Jackass 4 and buy 2021. Yeah, gotta wait for Jackass. It's been delayed, but it's coming. It's coming. It's done.
Hey, look, Night Raven, if you form a Halloween Kills mob against Jesse, I have the mask. So I think I'll win.
Yeah, you got like I think the Halloween 4 one or something like that. You picked
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
It's over there. Not getting
Yeah.
it.
I got a Halloween 2 one somewhere. I got to dig it up.
I wouldn't mind having the new one. That's cool looking.
They've got the new one now, and then I think also Trick or Treat said they've got the rights now to do the first mask, which is going to just be similar to the Halloween.
It's
2
really
mask,
it's really weird. It's like I saw that and I had to have it, even though I'm not one of these like toy collector guys, and I don't collect masks per se. I just thought that was cool as fuck, and I had to have it.
Well, speaking of something that's cool as fuck, and people are really into right now, is the Squid Games. I haven't seen it yet.
It's pretty damn good.
I know you and a lot of everybody's talked about it, said it's great.
Twists and turns and enough intrigue and disturbing to keep you going.
It is disturbing.
Well,
but Tom brought up something that makes if you could watch it all at once, now you get to watch it all again.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to wait, though, and there's a reason for it. We'll get to that, but first I want to talk about this because Netflix is evidently changing how it measures a title's viewers post Squid Game. Streamer is moving away from its 2-minute view standard and will instead share the total hours watched for any given title. This is a big change, is it not, Mike? I wish Culture was here for this, too.
Well, this is monumental.
Yeah.
You gonna read it, or you want to read?
Yeah, I can do it, or I can if you wanted to. Either way.
All right, I'll go ahead and read it. The streamer Netflix to change how it measures titles viewers.
You got it up on your screen?
So yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I can read it. In this, let me go. And so Netflix again touted the runaway success of Squid Game in its quarterly earnings report, while at the same time saying it will change the way it publicly reveals viewing data. In the streamer's third quarter letter to shareholders, Netflix says that in the future, it will report total hours viewed within 28 days of release rather than the 2-minute quote view metric it's used for the past couple years. We think engagement as measured by hours viewed is a slightly better indicator of the overall success of our titles and member satisfaction, the shareholder letter reads. It also matches how outside services measure TV viewing and gives proper credit to re-watching. Netflix also says it will, quote, more regularly release hours viewed counts so our members and the industry can better measure success in the streaming world. The changes in viewing metrics the company publicly shares is the second in as many years for Netflix. The company switched to the 2-minute standard in the fourth quarter of 2019. Prior to the fourth quarter of 2019, it counted any member account that completed 70% of a movie or 70% of a single TV series episode as a view. The switch comes on the heels of a Bloomberg report last week that featured more detailed viewing and financial data than Netflix usually shares for individual titles. Internal documents cited in the story say Squid Game would create nearly $900 million in value for the company, despite costing only $21.4 million to produce, and that 2/3 of the Netflix users who started the series finished it within 23 days. As for Squid Game, Netflix says the series racked up 142 million views over its first 28 days of release, smashing all previous records at the streamer. The previous high for any title was 99 million views for the Chris Hemsworth action movie Extraction. Among series, it was 82 million for Bridgerton. The 142 million figure represents 2/3 of the
that show.
Huh?
The women like that Bridgerton show.
Yeah. My all the girls in my family were loved it and watched the crap out of my nieces.
Of spoon licking, from what I hear.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that show is that you're talking about.
The 100.
Something like
I'm almost done.
The one like woman porn.
Yeah, it totally is.
I watch lots of women's porn.
No. It's like
usually 2 or 3 women there.
No, the other kind, Jesse. The other kind.
That's not porn. I'm sorry, I'll shut up. I know.
It's never taken me this long to say the 2 words. The 142 million. Here I think is the most interesting part of the whole article. The 100, just this one line here, just one sentence. The 142 million figure represents 2/3 of the 213.56 million global subscribers Netflix reported in its earning report. Let's see. Do we want me to keep going? So I'm almost
Yeah,
done.
definitely, because the next part's what shows off what's really how it's
Ooh,
killing
here
it.
we go.
Yeah,
The
go
company
ahead.
also cited returning series Money Heist, 69 million views, and Sex Education, 55 million, and limited series called MEAD, a projected 67 million in its earnings report, along with feature films such as Sweet Girl at 68 million, The Kissing Booth 3 at 59 million, the German horror movie Blood Red Sky at 53 million, and animated family film Vivo at 46 million. And in terms of hours viewed, Netflix says that Bridgerton is the biggest series so far with 625 million hours of consumption worldwide, followed closely by
You
Money
thirsty
Heist,
bitches.
season 3 of Stranger Things, followed by The Witcher, and season 2 of 13 Reasons Why. Round out the top 5.
Yeah, don't see no cuties in there. Don't see some of
Nope.
these other things that everybody always talks about. Well, of course, that's older now. I think this is more recent,
Now here
within
it
the last
goes.
28 days. But yeah,
Jesse was right. Listen to this. Squid Game isn't mentioned in the hours viewed chart, but as per Bloomberg, it racked up more than 1.4 billion hours of watch time in 23 days, more than twice that of Bridgerton.
That's insane.
Wow.
That's a lot of people digging this shit.
Well, and here's the thing. This is what Culture and Script and I were talking about for a while. Once Netflix has going to start, because we knew they were going to have to start, or they were going to start showing their numbers, for various reasons. And then the other thing, though, is that Script and Culture and I have been talking about for a while is there's never been an incentive, right? Like there's never been a situation where people really know how well these shows are doing outside of things like parrot analytics, right? Which is just basically bullshit made up. You can come up with more accurate shit than probably most parrot analytics crap, is what I'm saying, just by going through Google. This is a big deal because it will start showing what shows are actually hits, what ones aren't, what actors will and directors and showrunners and all that kind of stuff will be able to start going for bigger paydays.
Yep.
And I think that a lot of this is also going to play into the IATSE deals and stuff like that as we come up here with things, because yeah, there's never been an incentive for television shows on Netflix and stuff like that to be any better. We don't know who's watching what or how many people are watching anything, and now we know. See, because unlike television, that's how it works. You know, I don't really need to explain it, but the quick version is, you know, if a show's a hit, you get to charge more for commercials and stuff. Your actors get to ask for more money, et cetera, et cetera. With streaming, outside of certain things, like when they say they're a hit, we don't really know, right? Like they're just telling us what we think we know.
This is such a major. There's a where I was going to go with this is Quite Night, and the chat beat me to it. I don't know if you can pull up his comment.
Not that one, is the other one, right? Where is
Okay,
it? Here it is.
see if you can find that one. Okay,
I got
so
You can too, by the way. You think you're signed in.
I know. I just didn't want to go over you. So investors,
You're allowed. You're the producer.
Okay, investors will like this. It will make it clear with programming expenditure. It will be harder to justify big spends on Twitter candy if no one is watching it. Now, this is so key. Here's what Netflix is doing. This is an absolute. Now I'm going to put on my finance, my corporate finance hat on here. This is a massively huge development in the streaming world of entertainment. And here's why, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, because Netflix, by basically saying that they're going to do hours viewed within 28 days of release, they're basically saying, here's our metric. Now you've got number one, no one else is doing this kind of thing. Right. Number two is that they're adding the time element so that you actually can get a sense. It's almost like a movie theater, right? How much cash does the movie do? You know, when we watch box office, we're looking at how much cash is brought in this, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, opening week, and the second week. And by the third or fourth week, we pretty much, where things are dropping off, and then there's the residual, and depending if it's got simultaneous international release or not, Well, basically, Netflix has figured out, hey, here's what we're going to do. Since we just had a massive hit here, we're gonna let and they've been tracking this for a while. So the last time they did a change was about almost 2 years ago. They now know what we're gonna do, and what Netflix is basically saying, they're saying F you Disney Plus, F you Peacock, F everybody else in the streaming game. Here's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to tell you the total hours that we're generating on all of our releases, and we're going to do it within a 28 days. Why 28 days? Because 28 days is the least number of days in any given month. Some months have 30, some have 31. The shortest has 28. When you do a 28-day release, they're basically saying, we're going to tell you how many hours we generate. And by this, they're going to hold up their stock value. They're going to try to do a value proposition. And they're basically saying to you, it's similar to in basketball, someone dropping a bunch of 3 points in the 10 minutes time span. They're basically saying, what the F are you going to do now, other streaming services? Because the thing that Netflix is flexing on is the fact that they just had a major hit and there's no other streaming service that possibly could get near them. And they are now defining what success is in the streaming wars.
That could be very well the case. I agree with most of what you're saying, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here too, is that this is going to incentivize a lot of different things. And I'm curious to see how like Cobra Kai and stuff play.
Oh yeah, because it's a great way to trim the fat. Because before
Yeah.
that, I was under the impression that they were holding off on Cobra Kai to the end of December because they simply had nothing else. Then this thing was out of the blue success, and now they have two things, not one thing. So there's
Netflix is ahead of the game. They've been ahead of the game for a while, and that's the thing is, but
yeah, the Marvel shows they did were good, but then they got boring.
well, it's just they've always had plenty of stuff. Like they're ahead of the game, they're ahead of the market. Like HBO Max and Disney Plus and Peacock all launched without really having a good lineup ready. Like, which is sad because they're all based on television stations and movie studios. You'd think they would, but no, they weren't. They rushed, and they weren't ready, and that's where Netflix has built itself up to what it is. And regardless of what punches it's taken, things like Squid Game and it still show that it's a big deal. Now, it's sad to hear I didn't hear Dave Chappelle's special on there unless that's in the next 28 days. That might be too.
Well, yeah, they haven't hit 28 days yet. So
yeah,
there's going to be a transgender walkout at Netflix.
Well,
and then they're going to lock the door and go, it worked.
Well, following on what White Knight said, and then Elijah Snow in the chat, his super chat's coming up after. I think 2 more super chats, but
yeah, well, we got a member here. I got to do a minimum effort.
Go ahead.
Before.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Punk Waddle, if I can say it right. Punk Waddle. He gets Mike's favorite minimum effort.
He's a minimum effort. Bambino, why can't you do that? Where are you, Bambino? Come over here. Look at the screen. Where are you?
He's gone. Deranged Lunatic sends us a hot dog. Thank you for that. I had brats for supper. That's reminiscent of what I had. Elijah Snow says this will put a lot of pressure on others to release their metrics as well. Nielsen being gutted or not, this is going to put real pressure on. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Especially with the tiers with commercials, right? Like that's where I said, at least with like Hulu and other places that have commercials and Peacock, there's still an incentive to get people to watch the shit.
As long as they're all honest with their numbers, this is going to be a very good thing because it will allow the cream to rise to the top and everything that's actually garbage to just go in a dumpster.
And this is also going to shield them, or at least provide a metric for all this woke crap, because basically if the stuff doesn't fly, then F it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There can't be any pandering, and this takes care of the cash grab thing too, because
there sure as hell wasn't nothing woke about this one.
Nope.
No, I can't wait to see it. I've been hearing so many good things about it, but I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, that's just the thing, Tom, because it's like I don't even want to discuss this show because I don't want to.
No, we should do a special. Once you see it, Tom, we definitely should talk about it here.
Here's why I'm gonna wait. This came out here this last week. The 10th. Squid Games, according to L, the English subtitles have come under fire on account of huge translation errors, and the same thing is being said about the dub as well. I guess the reasoning behind it was a little rushed, but they do have a company working on it, I guess, and within the next few months they're supposed to fix it. But as of right now, I guess there's some issues with the translation. I don't know exactly what's wrong, but they're saying like just certain things were translated wrong.
There's an example in that article.
Is there? Okay, I didn't want to get into any spoilers in case anybody wanted to.
It's just a line.
Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Where is it at?
It's down below this.
Yeah,
right around the picture of the girl there.
Okay. Mayer goes on to unpack specifics of scenes showing how character motivations meaning have. Well, we just fucking read it. Fuck it. It's not that long.
Yeah, there's no spoiler alerts in this.
Okay, good. I didn't really read the whole thing. I just knew that this was a problem. I heard about this and I just found the article.
Well,
So
down at the end, it gets a little confusing.
I didn't do my homework on that part, but that's my fault because I wasn't sure if we were going to talk about this part or not. But since we brought it up twice now, I figured fuck it. It says if you've been watching Squid Game, let's face it, who hasn't? According to the last article, a lot of people are. We're sorry to say that it might not have been the show as the makers intended. Squid Game is on track to becoming the service's most watched show of all time, overtaking The Crown and Bridgerton. As we know now, it is. It has taken the #1 spot in 90 countries within 10 days of its release.
That's hardcore.
But according to Korean speakers, the translation of the hit Netflix series deviates wildly from the original script. So unless you can speak Korean, you're not getting the full picture, it sounds like. Youngami Mayer, a biracial Korean American TikTok user, that's a hell of a sentence to try and spit out, and the co-host of Feeling Asian podcast, went viral earlier this week for tweets and a video explaining the disparities between the actual language used and the subtitles. Not to sound snobby, but I'm fluent in Korean and I watch Squid Game with the English subtitles. If you don't understand Korean, you didn't really watch the same show, she tweeted. Translation was so bad, the dialogue was written so well, and zero of it was preserved. So she then goes on to say, unpack specifics to show the characters' motivations, meaning they have been skewed by the translation. One scene Mayer focuses on shows Hein Mi Niwa. Am I saying that right? Probably not. A poor single mother saying, I'm not a genius, but I can work it out, referring to playing the games in the show. What she actually said is, I'm very smart. I just never got a chance to study. That was a huge trope in Korean media. The poor person who is smart and clever, but just isn't wealthy, says Mayer. That's a huge part of her character. All the writers want you to know about that. All the writers want you to know about her is that. Mayer goes on to tweet that the reason this happens is because translation work is not respected, and also the sheer volume of content. Translators are underpaid and overworked, and it's not their fault. It's the fault of the producers who don't appreciate the art. Thankfully, there's one change you can make to ensure you're watching the most accurate version of Squid Game possible. And it's pretty simple. Change your subtitles from English closed captioning to English ASAP. Okay, well, that's one way of getting around it. Netflix offers two translations, English for speakers, English subtitles, and English closed caption subtitles, which are intended for hard of hearing and include soundtrack notes and descriptions of background noises. According to Korean speakers, the plain English subtitles are far superior, with some on Twitter claiming that the former translation is based on the original Korean script, while the closed captioning one is direct translation from the dubbed English script. Many Netflix accounts are automatically programmed to use the closed captioning subtitles, so make sure you check your settings for the best possible Squid Game binge session. So there you go. There's one way of getting around it, but I did also hear that they are working on the actual
yeah, but this is such a good thing because everybody who like watched it with the dub on, like me, just to watch it, now we're all gonna be like, okay, now it's time for the deep dive.
Another reason to watch it.
Yeah.
So now it's gonna double those hours.
But you're not alone in wanting to wait for it too. I mean, Doomcock talked about on a Sunday show. He's gonna wait because, as the Kelvington explained, they hired another studio to do the translation, which is why it's off, and now the original people are doing
that's where we had talked about it, and I'd first learned.
Yeah, but so you're not alone. In fact, you and Doomcock aren't the only people that have said that. I've heard that from a few other.
Well, maybe I'll just watch it with the subtitles because here's my thing. There's certain things I don't mind watching with the dubs because that's kind of the way I fell in love with them. Key examples: Godzilla films, Bruce Lee films. Those are the way I saw them growing up. So even though I can watch them with the subtitles and the original language, part of it to me is the charm of those dubs. But now newer stuff, like the new Godzilla movie they did, Shin Godzilla, I watched that with the subtitles. I could probably get away with doing that for this, but like that's the only thing with subtitles is I like to be able to have a really good dub because they can be distracting, and I like to be able to pay attention to what's going on screen and look at the actor's face while they're acting.
And the worst thing is if you get the subtitle before the action hits.
Oh, that's so annoying when that happens.
Or it gives away what's kind of going on before, so it ruins the emotional impact.
Oh, yeah, that would have been better if I didn't know he got shot in the face.
And I get it. There's kind of like an apples and oranges thing here with kind of the way they're expressing it.
And if
So
you're squeamish, I'm just warning you, hundreds of people die in this shit.
well, I already know what it is. It's basically like an adult version of
Hundreds.
Hunger Games, I guess. But I guess some of the
but
but
it's
the other
what
argument
they
I
do to
heard.
these people is they make them play childhood games. So if you don't know the childhood games, you're fucked going in. It's
Well, that's the other
beautiful.
thing,
I
though,
love
is
the
I
way
heard
they do
that
it.
some of the things that are lost in the translation, which we talked about the other night, was like certain motivations of other characters as far as like why they make certain decisions and stuff. So that's another reason why I'm curious if I should just wait. But knowing now about the closed cap or to just switch from closed captioning to English subtitles, that'll make a difference.
You're gonna end up watching both.
I
know
might.
you.
I might. I won't wait as long now. Maybe I will get into it if I get the time. Spider Unlimited says, Seinfeld on Netflix now is a massive draw. Oh yeah, Netflix has a good deal with Sony, and that's why I have a feeling that that Sony will end up just making a deal with Netflix.
Speaking of
before too long.
Sony, why
So I
are
don't think they'll sell anymore. But yeah,
the
go ahead.
symbols on their faces for all of the workers there? They're all PlayStation buttons. What's up with that?
I never noticed that. I didn't. I've seen pictures, but maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's some connection to it in
It might be
where
a
it's from.
jab.
Could be. If somebody knows the significance, let us know in the chat. That is
Well, the only
curious.
thing I know is that the different shapes are your ranking in the group as far as
Right.
workers go, which none of them mean shit. They're like bond.
I want to handle this question from Deleted Scene real quick. He says, why didn't they do that to begin with? Well, he's talking about the translation. So the reason that didn't happen is that they produced it. It was a show. It got bought. And then what happened is
They
that
rushed it. Yeah.
Yeah, they rushed it. And so they had it. They needed translation. The original production team that put it together, they put it together in its purest raw form. And so when they had the final product, they're like, oh shit, we're going to translate this for an English audience. And they went and just found a completely different company to do the translation that was not at all involved in the writing of the script or anything in terms of, getting the final product. So now, given what's happened around the world, it's not so much a US thing, but it's happened in other, around, since this has turned into a global property now, a global phenomenon, is that they're now like, okay, shit, we got to go back and get this right, because they expect like there's going to be people like Tom that are going to want to watch this. They're going to wait to watch it, or people like Jesse was talking about that have seen it and are going to then want to take a deeper dive. And so I think this is a prudent move for them to go back and get it right.
And to answer your question, Tao Khan, is I haven't seen it yet. I've only seen pictures and like little previews and stuff. I've been kind of avoiding anything about it because everybody's talking.
And you should,
so
Tom,
much,
stay
so,
away
yeah.
from any of the spoilers or any of the. There's tons of twists and turns, and
Yeah.
and you want to experience them.
And somebody said, "Why is there no X though?" There you go. That's
Wait,
good.
Because then that would be one step too far. It has to be 25% different.
I'm sure it's. I have to see it before I can comment. Basically,
Lindsay also says that these costumes look a lot like the Void, so I just looked that up because I haven't seen it, and they do have triangle face on there, but I don't see any other symbols.
Interesting. But I know everybody's talking about it. We didn't even really talk much about Cowboy Bebop.
I'll say one thing that's not really a spoiler.
Didn't really have it in the title either. So,
but the main character in the Squid Game first episode, I could not stand the man. I could not stand to look at him. He was such a disgusting individual to me because of the way he treated his life and the way he treated his daughter with no respect. But as it goes on, you see that he hates himself for that, and that he's trying to fix it. Very good character arc.
Spoilers, Chelsea. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
well,
I'll forget really. By the time I get to watch it.
Just you need a spoiler meter.
I did get a chance to see
how?
Dune,
I didn't say anything.
So I'm sure we'll have a Dune roundtable before too long here on the main channel. So
I
stay tuned for that. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't like the soundtrack all that much, but other than that, I enjoyed it quite a bit. But I'm gonna save my thoughts for the roundtable on that. Other than that, was there any other news that we should bust into before we send people over to Nick Weiser's channel to watch
one thing?
Sure.
Rewatching that International Ghostbusters trailer. He flips the Ecto-1 in the cornfield. Sin. So they're probably going to come out with like a more badass version or something that's all like souped up once the big boys get there.
Well, and the one kid from Stranger Things, the Wolfgang kid or whatever his name is, he's clearly like a gearhead, right? Like, so yeah, like they all kind of have their little quirks. Like He's the gearhead. The one kid, the podcast kid or whatever his name's, podcast or whatever. He's clearly going to be the one into some of the techie stuff. And then the young girl is clearly going to be
podcast is just such a. It's going to be a dated name.
I probably will be. That one's one I'm like the most really about, because then I can see with like the more I see of this new trailer, like the girl, she's going to be kind of more of the wide-eyed version, like that part of Spangler, right? Like, you know, the one where he actually gets excited about things, and you know, the whole idea of the, like,
I'm just hoping like hell that it's good.
The childlike side of him, you know, like a little bit. You know, she'd be the one to say, "Oh, I had a toy once. It was a Slinky, but we straightened it." You know, she'd be that kind of a kid. She seems like, you know, so she seems like she's gonna be the most like him, right? But we did get a few teases that we actually get to see.
They should have a scene that they don't even mention it, but she's just like fucking with some old toy like that.
Well, and then we also did get to see that they show from behind, at least, Egon in the trailer. It looked like. Did you notice that as well? So
no,
yeah,
I missed that too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
was he physical or spectral?
No, he's physical, but it's all from behind, so it's clearly a stand-in.
I gotta watch it.
But
again,
it totally
slowly.
sets up what the story's about. It was like he was up to something.
You know, in that trailer, there is a figure that's rather tall that's hobbling up to the house for no good reason.
That's him.
That's him.
I'm pretty sure that's him.
Hmm.
Because that's the whole thing. Is it set because it shows like that's the Muncher ghost or whatever it was. Is one of the ghosts I think they let out of the trap, and that's the last ghost that he traps.
You're probably right. You're probably right,
because he buries. It shows him buried in the wood or underneath the piece of wood, and then she digs it up. Remember?
See, I assume that ghost trap in the floor was put there by Janine, and I think it was Egon was in it. I thought that the one thing Egon would do upon death would be to trap himself so that he'd be there for when he was needed.
Well, I think part of the thing that I was saying way back when, that part of this they'll make him be a part of the story, is like his soul is trapped somewhere or something like that. You could be right in that respect. Or I think he just wasn't able to move on because of Gozer. Something happened, because that's the whole thing, is they showed us so much more in this fucking trailer than we've gotten to see before. And
the potential is all there.
Yeah. And we know kind of what the story is now. So that's kind of cool. I'm really getting into this. I'm really getting jazzed up for it. The more I want to see, but like at the same time, I'm like, nope, I don't want to see more trailers. I just want the fucking movie now.
Exactly. You know? Yeah. As the
can't wait a month.
Say, it's your game to lose.
I don't want to wait a month, but I got to wait a month yet. We just got a month.
At least it's just a month now.
A little less than a month.
They had kicked this movie back a year. That was bad.
I know. I've been the one saying that now for a while, Jesse, but now I'm seeing all these trailers and stuff, and I'm just like, God damn it. I just want this movie to be good.
Now, hopefully, once this movie goes gangbusters, they'll release the entire line of the real Ghostbusters action figures so I can buy them all for my son.
Well, they've got the original ones out. Didn't you see that?
Yeah, but they only have certain ones. I want the entire line. See, we had everything when I was a kid, both Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters. But when I was 15, my father worked with this guy, and his son was autistic. So he didn't have a very happy life, so we gave him everything. And he loved it, and it made him happy. So I was fine with that. Then years later, I see a broken Krang body for $45, and it doesn't even have a door. And I'm like, we lost a lot of money, but it's still okay. And then lately, like in the last 10 years, people have just been giving me stuff to rebuild that collection. So that's
cool. No, I know they got the Ectomobile coming out. Plus, they are, I think, doing the Fright feature ones next.
The Ectomobile,
I got the regular 4 Ghostbusters.
See, the thing is that they're coming out with new things. I saw this in the store the other day. They got these weird little ugly figures, and they got this weird little ugly thing. This like ugly.
It's like a thing for younger kids. I noticed. You're right. Yeah,
yeah, man. The '80s toy. That's the way you make an Ecto 1. It was cool looking. Soup up that thing and make it better.
Well, no, they actually have the real Ghostbusters line. They're continuing the relaunch. Yeah, they got some more coming out. They've got there's another line coming. They're gonna have the Ecto 1. They're gonna have the Fright featured Ghostbusters, and I think they're bringing out a few more of the ghosts as well. Because I've got the Stay Puft, I've got Slimer, I've got the original 4. I even got the neutron thrower thing where it has the reflector thing and all that stuff. The
original 4 I rebought for him, but that was all I found.
Yeah, well, they're coming out with the rest. They kind of held them all back because all that stuff started coming out last May when the movie was going to drop. But then, so they had to hold some of it back. But I think they're going to be doing quite a bit more because they sold really well. So, so I'm sure about that. Who's a liar? Me? What am I lying about?
We're all liars.
No,
I'm pretty sure I saw they were coming out with one, unless I missed something.
I don't know.
Now I just think of Henry Rollins going,
I collect lights.
because you're a
I don't collect
liar."
action figures. I collect lightsabers.
Well, that's what they call the proton pack actual wand, the neutron thrower. It
Really?
was but I have the one from the real Ghostbusters where it projects the ghosts onto the wall, like when we were kids. They brought that out again too.
See, it's like I don't collect stuff for me. I buy it all for my kid because I want him to have everything because I used to have everything. But it's like
My kid don't care about any of that shit.
like if I like for instance, if I saw in a store a brand new toy of the werewolf dude from Real Ghostbusters line, I would probably have to buy that just for nostalgia.
I'm sure they'll eventually get to those. They'll probably do most of the main lines as far as like the stuff they came out with up to a point.
It's all right. I already found them vintage versions on eBay that looked really good.
Well, that's the thing is sometimes you can pick up loose versions of vintage ones pretty cheap. So
Oh yeah, especially if you wait. Like I bought him the Real Ghostbusters Firehouse and the Ecto 1 and the Ecto 2. And that Firehouse, I swear to God, it looked like the person put the decals on it before they mailed it to me.
they probably did.
Like it would, even the sign, the things, the little popper things to keep the sign in, none of the tabs were broken, nothing. All the railings were white. I was like, damn, no one played with this thing.
Oh wow. That's a good deal then.
Well, yeah.
But I think we're gonna close this up because we're gonna head over to Nick Weiser's here soon. Let me get a link for everybody on that one. Let's see here. I got the link somewheres. Here we go. So
Nick's
you guys
a good guy.
park
like
up
him.
there. Yeah, park up there and wait for us to start talking about some Beverly Hills Cop in about 20 minutes. There you go, kids.
And if you guys are on the Instagram, follow Nick on there
Did I
too
see you-
because he posts
Yeah.
good stuff.
Tom, did you see that? Were you on a show about the action? Where's that Eddie? Was there a Beverly Hills Cop action figure that got launched?
Yeah, I hopped on real quick with Az and
Who
RMD.
makes
when
that?
they
Is
were
that a
talking
hot
about-
toy or something?
It's
Does
one
it
of
come
those-
with a dinner tray and a banana?
It does come with some stuff, but it was one of those that's a non-licensed one.
Oh,
And they sent me the one link for it, and I couldn't get it to open, and I got to bug them again about it because it's one of those ones where it's they're I don't know the company that does them, but Rob's
I
brought them
never
on a
seen
couple
anything
times.
like that before.
Oh yeah, he's brought them on a couple times. As far as like, there's these companies that make these, they don't have the license to, but they make them and they do a really amazing job. And Eddie's been one of those that he's been notorious for not lending out his license for his likeness, and so this company's just like, fuck it, we're gonna make one. So yeah, so we're getting one. I want to get my hands on it too. It's not that expensive either. So it looks just like him. But like, it's like some generic name to it though.
It's not Dark Toys one.
I don't know. Is there one for Dark? Is it Dark Toys that did it?
California police.
$200, right? $199.99.
Yeah, send me the link. Let me see.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Where's the private chat?
And I want to see most of you guys over on Nick Weiser. We're talking Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, Lindsay just posted the link
Thank
to
you,
his
Lindsay.
channel too.
All right, let's see what we got here. Is this one?
All right. I'm loading this up. I got 9,000 tabs open.
That's the one.
Oh, damn, that looks good.
Yeah. Or is it
Damn,
actual-
that looks pretty damn
Is
good.
it licensed? I thought it wasn't licensed.
To look like that, probably. I mean, his
they got
face
away
does
with
look slightly
I
off.
better show
but-
this to people because people are like, "What are you looking at?"
Yeah, for real.
I get it. There we go. There we go.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Click on the picture that has the money shot where he's holding like water cash.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you move his mouth or something?
I don't know. Maybe he's got
Or is
probably
that
two different heads. He's probably
That's
got
a different head. You pop them. It comes with an extra head.
Two heads. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Detroit Lions.
The light on that
jacket,
one
though.
looks really good. Yeah. Well, it's actually Beverly Hills Cop 2, but yeah. A bunch of hands, a gun, wallet, glasses, money, handcuffs, a watch.
Shit. I'm about to shop for this site for Christmas here.
Oh shit. This is a pre-order item. Order. Okay, I'll order it.
Of course you
I gotta make a. I've never seen this site before. I guess I gotta make a.
Yeah, bookmark
Is
5,000.
this a legit site though? This is a good site.
Let me check it out for you, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
'cause
got
if it
cool
is-
shit.
Anyways,
Yeah,
you need
sweet. Yeah, we got to get ready for Nick Weiser's show. Speaking of Axel Foley, so yeah, check us out over there. At least me, anyway. I'm sure the rest of these guys will be hanging out eventually. I don't know who's all going to be on the show yet. I think Mads is going to be there with us. I'm not
I'll
sure
come
who else.
over. I ain't got nothing to do.
Other than that, yeah, check out Jesse's channel, and of course, you can find Mike hanging around all kinds of different places, producing all kinds of stuff. He's the hardest working producer on YouTube, so I'm sure you'll find him someplace.
If I'm not here, I'm I don't know. And tomorrow I'm going to be helping Paulie. He's going to be hosting Drug 3PO tomorrow night, Wednesday.
Oh, cool beans.
So go
Awesome.
find us over there over on.
Oh yeah, we got Midnight's Edge in the morning, and then 4K for you in the afternoon. So yeah,
I'm excited, dude. You guys are doing such a good job on that 4K show.
I can't believe the reception to it, but yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, look, hey, every minute of that show, I'm learning something new that I didn't know, and I think it's great. You're giving us history, and then you're letting me know what I can't find that's not done, and you're letting me know what's out there that I had no idea wasn't 4K. So I love it.
Well, and we're bringing in a brand new audience, or people that weren't aware of the channel. It seems like, which is really cool. There's like a whole bunch of people that are just they found us through that show, which has been really cool. So, with that, I think we're gonna wrap this up. It was a decent show. What do you think, Bart?